Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour, your source for all hard rock, heavy metal, new metal, alternative, punk, horror punk, hardcore, rock, and all local bands, with your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather.
Hey, what's up? This is Spider from Powerman 5000, and you are listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
The views and opinions of the guest do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of BODS Mayhem Radio Network, its staff, affiliates, or sponsors. Parental discretion is advised. Welcome to BODS Mayhem Radio Network.
Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather. As always, I'm bringing you guys awesome interviews. And today I have none other than Spider One from the mighty Powerman 5000. And Spider, it's awesome that you guys are finally back with a new album, man.
Yeah, it is awesome. It's been a long time, so I'm so happy to be back and happy to have this record out. I'm really excited about it.
I got to say, after several years, you guys have finally put out a new album, Builders of the Future. The very first track off this album, Invade, Destroy, Repeat. Man, this kicks ass from you guys, and plus it makes a statement. It makes a powerful statement from you guys to say, hey, look, we're back. Just be ready for vengeance. What's your take on this?
Yeah, I think that's exactly, you summed it up correctly. I mean, that's what you always try to do, especially, well, at least we do. For every time we put out a record, we want that first track to just be like, yeah, just like a wake-up call, I mean, we always kind of design the records to, feel like that, and it translates to the live show as well. A lot of times we'll take that opening track and open the live set with it as well. So, yeah, that's exactly what we try to do.
Off the new album, how are the fans reacting to your shows from the new music? How are they reacting from it?
Oh, it's been great. I mean, we've been we've been playing a lot of new material from the new album, more than we normally would, because it's just been going over so well. And How to Be a Human in particular is a song we've been playing for almost a year now live, and people are going nuts for it. It's really pleasantly surprised at how quickly people are learning these songs and how they're digging them.
What are some of your favorite songs off this album?
Some of my favorite, I like Invade, Destroy, Repeat for sure. I like playing that one live. That's my favorite one to play live. Mm-hmm. I really like You're Gonna Love It If You Like It or Not, Builders of the Future, and then there's a song called I Want to Kill You, which is really different for us. It's like a really mellow, kind of trippy song that I'm into. I like that one a lot, too.
You guys take all genres of music, and from each individual, from each one of you guys, and you put it into a Powerman 5000 CD. But how do you guys work this out? Because I know you guys come from different genres of music of what you like. Yeah,
I mean, I think you got to be, I think that everybody knows, the end result is, is what, we got to sort of, it's a Powerman record, so everybody has to put their personal taste, aside to a certain degree, and, we have to make the best Powerman record we can. And, but, it's always good to, we're a pretty eclectic band, and we try to combine a lot of different styles, and it's helpful, when everybody feels that way. Everybody has their own style and their own sensibility and things that they love. So I think you're open to putting all those things into the pot and stirring it up, and making something cool. But you just got to be careful not to get too all over the map where the record doesn't make any sense, So, I think at the end of the day, you just know which songs are the best songs, and if something feels right, then you go with it, If it doesn't, then you just put it aside.
I've got to say this before we go on. I really did like your guys' cover of Relax. I thought you guys made a huge twist on that song and made it even more better.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, that was kind of out of left field when we did that one. We got a call about that. That was a long time ago for that Zoolander movie. And I think originally, oddly enough, the backstory, originally was supposed to be Limp Bizkit doing it. And then I guess the producers of the movie didn't like their version, and so they needed it done really fast, and they called us, and we literally banged that thing out in a day. It was pretty, but yeah, I liked how that turned out too. I think it was pretty cool.
Well, I'm glad you guys did it instead.
Yeah, me too.
Do you guys prefer clubs or festivals, or does it even really matter?
I mean, they're all, look, each situation has its ups and downs. They're all great. Festivals are amazing because you get to play in front of tons of people, and, it's a different vibe. And, I definitely enjoy, those bigger shows because it feels like a big event. You know what I mean? But club shows are a blast too because it's more intimate and it's just more there's a more dangerous vibe to it and people are right in your face and they're both cool and they both have their own challenges for sure, like how you approach it. But I think that fortunately we do so many different kinds of shows that we can function in all these different areas. Like we're comfortable in a small club, we're comfortable on a big stage. So I don't really have a preference. I mean, I just like to get out there and no matter what the scenario is, give it like everything I got. And, I mean, we definitely pride ourselves on being a good live band. And that's sort of the most important thing to us. So, at the end of the day, if we put on a good show, it doesn't really matter where it is.
You guys have got several albums out, but with the writing process and music-wise, do you find it easier nowadays to write music, or do you find it a little bit more harder? What's your take on that?
It's never easy. I always think whenever we start making a record, I always think it's easy. Like, I've done this before. This will be a piece of cake. And sometimes it starts out that way. You write a song. The first couple songs come easy. And you're like, all right, it's going to go fast. And then you find yourself a year later still trying to finish the record, So it's never easy. But I feel like in some ways it's getting easier because I feel like I'm comfortable in my own skin, and like I'm comfortable with what the band is. And, there was a time when I would, I'd want to change it every time we put out a record and experiment and try. And now I'm like, I feel like, okay, I know what this band's all about. And like, I know what we're supposed to sound like. And so in that way it's become easier. But, it's still a challenge writing, 10 or 12 songs and, making sure they're all as good as they possibly can be. I mean, we were never the kind of band that, we're satisfied with like a couple good songs and then putting a bunch of filler on the record. We always try to, do our best to make it, an album that you want to listen to from beginning to end.
Since you're comfortable in your writing nowadays, do you think that some bands are afraid to push the envelope of being their self and have to follow a trend?
Well, to be honest with you, I don't think most bands write any of their own songs, and that's been a new trend in rock and roll, which is like disturbing to me, is that if you look on the charts and you look at most of the rock bands, they don't even write, like it's a songwriter culture now. There's this whole wave now of getting songwriters to come in and write tunes for bands. So I don't even think that bands even know who they are. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand that. Like, I come from a time where the, rock band was a rock band, and you wrote your own music and your own songs, and, maybe you collaborate with some people. I'll collaborate with, my ex-guitar player and stuff, but I still feel like he's a member of the band, even though he's not the touring version of the band. But the reality is that most of these rock bands now, they just farm out a bunch of songwriters, they write a bunch of songs from them, and they just go in and record them. And so, I don't think they're pushing the envelope because how can you if it's not you, So for better or worse, I just want to be authentic, and I want to be, if someone listens to my record, I want to them know that it's coming from my brain, you know what I mean, and not somebody else's, and so that way they can invest themselves in it. If they're a fan of the band, they know that it's real, and it's not just like, a bunch of songwriters writing songs for you, I don't really understand that, but that's definitely the way it's gone these days.
If I was a singer, I couldn't sing the music if I was not writing it. I wouldn't feel like I was promoting that band the way it should be promoted. That's me.
Yeah, it's definitely it's definitely a weird thing, but I think it's become, definitely more normal, for sure. It's weird.
What can fans expect at a show from Powerman 5000, Spider?
They can expect lots of really loud music and just like I said earlier, that's one thing that is really important to us is just to put on the best live show we can, and just it's valuable, and I think that it's a high energy show, and it's it's not just it's a show that, at least for me as the front man, I like to try to get the crowd like super involved in the show, and very physical show. It's not like just sitting there watching the band play. It's an interaction. We try to play all the songs that people dig, and I just want everybody to leave like really tired. That's my goal.
First time you heard fans singing your music for the very first time, how'd that make you feel, if you can remember?
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember the first time, but it's pretty crazy. That's when like, okay, maybe I did something right here. When you get that kind of response.
I love Powerman 5000's music because it's different, it is diverse, and you guys bring that futuristic music to us. In your own opinion, what does Powerman 5000 bring to the table for music?
Wow. Well, that's a difficult question to answer. I mean, it's not really up to me, I guess, to decide. But I mean, I don't know. What we bring. I mean, I feel like in some regard, we fill a void that not a lot of bands are doing. I think that rock music has become very in some regards, almost like defeatist, if you know what I mean. Like it's very down, and I feel like with Powerman, we try to write these sort of like anthems almost. These sort of like very up, empowering kind of songs that I don't really hear a lot of that these days. And then sonically, I think that we try to be progressive in the way that we combine different sounds and technology, and the combination of electronics and organic guitars and drums and stuff. I think other people are doing it, but it's something we've been doing for a very long time, and I think that we do it in a way that's pretty unique. So I don't know. Other than that, it's not up to me to decide what we're contributing. So I just hope that we inspire some people to just music should be inspirational, and hopefully it has that effect on some people.
Yeah, play what you want to play. It's your own music. Don't, as we was talking before, don't ever be afraid to push the envelope.
Yeah, no kidding.
Any new bands out there that you're listening to right now?
Yeah, I don't know. I always feel like I'm such a failure when people ask me that. They're always like, "What are your 5 records you're listening to?" I'm like, I don't even know. Like, I don't know. I'm not really that up on like new rock bands. Quite honestly, it's like listen to like stuff that's not even like in the genre. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I don't even know. I wouldn't be able to answer that. I listen to like stuff that I've listened to since I was a kid. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So funny.
Speaking of that, who are some of your influences coming up? I mean, I know I read something about, a lot of Black Flag was, the Cramps, stuff like that. What's some of your influences?
Yeah, I mean, that was like as a kid, those are the bands that definitely inspired me and made me want to make music, because I sort of understood it, you know what I mean? Like growing up, I was, very much like a punk rock kid, and all those bands like the Ramones and stuff, they were very like, I understood it, because it was simple and it had such a crazy energy to it, like I didn't really relate to the music that was on the radio back then. Like it just seemed like, I don't know, it didn't make any sense to me. Right. But then when I started hearing this noisy, stripped down punk rock stuff, I was like, oh fuck, like I can understand that. Like I could do that. Like I could sing like that guy, you know what I mean? Like, so that was all definitely the stuff that inspired me to want to be in a band for sure.
Since it's the digital age, do you think it's hurt bands or do you think it's helped bands out?
I think that there's probably both. I don't think there's an easy answer to that. I think that there are advantages to the digital age and how you can create music and distribute music, and it's become accessible to everybody, and I think that that's a good thing. But on the other hand, it's devalued music to when you can just sort of like press a button and you have it for free, or you can stream it for free. It's just just subconsciously, even it just for somebody, it just makes it, there's no value to it. It's not like something physical. You have to get in your car, drive to a store, go look for it on the rack, pick it up, go to the cash register, pay for it. Like that's like an effort to get something, and you value it. You know what I mean? Now it's like, unfortunately, it's hurt bands and musicians because people don't really place a value on music. They love it still. Maybe there's more interest in music than ever, but I think it's hurt in that sense that artists are treated sort of as like that we should just be happy to fucking be in the room, whether or not we can eat, you know what I mean? And that's unfortunate.
Do you think sometimes you guys are just not looked as artists but as money? Okay, your artist is not being looked at as being a musician, other than just go play and make money, that's it? I
mean, maybe, I think that it depends. I think there are definitely certain times when you feel like, people value what you do, but other times, it's about the bottom line, you know what I mean? And, it's the music business is not what it used to be in terms of, the record labels and stuff don't have the luxury of supporting a lot of, bands that maybe a little bit different, a little more artistic, or, because they have to keep the lights on, and, so they have to, be more supportive of, it used to be like the big pop stars, would pay the bills so bands like us could get record deals and get money spent on us. But now, unfortunately, like, it's not like it used to be. So, you it's just more of a challenge to find your place and to that's why it's important that you take what you do seriously, and make sure your fans base is happy and appreciate what you do, and then ultimately they're the ones that will support you, and not only monetarily, but in a way that's like support you creatively.
How much is writing music a relief for you?
I mean, I think that it always has been. You know what I mean? It's ever since I was very young, it was something that it's a natural thing. You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
I think for most people who want to perform and get on stage or express themselves, I think 9 out of 10 times those people are not all that comfortable in their own skin and in real life. And when they feel most comfortable, it's when they're on stage or in the studio or whatever. And I think that, to me, that's been the truth for sure. Like, I'm always feel more comfortable on stage than just like in real life. So it's absolutely I think it's like a necessity for a lot of people to have to be able to express themselves that way.
I've always said music's a therapy for people, and it's a sound for people too. It's their voice,
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
What does it mean to you when a fan comes up either after a show or via email saying, "Hey, your music has inspired me to do something positive," or "It's got me out of a dark hole"? What does that mean to you?
Well, that's important. I think it's a big deal to me, because that's exactly why I ended up doing the things that I ended up doing, because of other people. You know what I mean? Like, because I heard somebody else's band, or I saw a movie or read a book, and and it inspired you to go like, wow, fuck, I see the world differently now, and maybe I could do this. And so, yeah, I think it's I don't take that lightly at all. I think it's really important. And in some ways, I think that's why you do it. You know what I mean? It's like you do it to hopefully inspire somebody to kind of do their own thing.
Spider, I want to thank you for taking time out to do this interview with me, man. Like I said, Worlds Collide means the world to me from you guys. Your guys' music is just plain out awesome. And as a fan, thank you for your music.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's great talking.
Before I let you go, how can people stay in touch with you guys? Check out your dates. How can they do that?
Yeah, I mean, it's the usual outlets. You know what I mean? If the Facebook is usually the best place to get like all the latest tour dates and information, and so I would definitely steer people in that direction to get all the latest info.
Before I let you go, will you care to do a promo for the show?
Sure. What do you want me to say? Hey, what's up? This is Spider from Powerman 5000, and you are listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Everybody, stick around. You only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour. Thanks, Spider.
All right. Thanks a lot.
You're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.